Hi, welcome back. Um, I listened to the program I just recorded on the update. This is the 12th of February 2014. Just to tell you where I am. And I realized that I misspelled holocync, so it's HOLOCYNC. Okay? And it's a meditation program which I'm finding quite incredible. I did a lot of research on it and prayed about it and waited a couple of months before I ordered it, got the sample tape, and then I went from there. But and I was really hesitant because before I was doing this deep meditation, because that's what it does. It literally takes the mind and puts it in the different places, the theta, gamma, pardon me, it moves the mind in a technological way. You don't even have to participate. You don't even have to, you can think all you want while you're doing it, and it's still, but I think of it as a cleansing of my subconsciousness, okay, a cleansing, it brings up stuff that hasn't been resolved so that I have the opportunity to resolve it. It's interesting how from the time I started that program, life started really presenting me with issues that were very much like I had in my family of origin when I came into Earth. So it's really like I was allowed to review those, only do them in a healthier way now, and honor myself along the way, as well as honoring those that were involved. And that includes forgiving and listening and loving along the way. It's been marvelous, challenging, I'll grant you, excruciatingly so at times. Quite frankly, yeah, it took the floor right out from underneath me. The foundation was gone. I had like one fortress on earth that I felt was as stable, and it was totally removed. And that's my church. And that's because I had trouble with the leadership. But again, that circumstance was simply a rehearsing or going through my family of origin again. It was, where there was somebody who I thought at least had power and authority over me, that was abusing that power and authority and that trust. And it's been marvelous. It's been marvelous. I'm hoping that I learned enough this time around that I won't have to go through it again, but I'm suspecting that it may present itself again on different levels, different angles, just so I can be tested and prove and hone that spiritual muscle that I need to be able to be strong in that particular circumstance. To the extent, to me, strength means that I don't harm others, but I also respect and value my own worth and my own integrity, and that I don't either choose to beat myself up or give in kind of thing. It's just been incredible. But I have no doubt there are other layers of that I'll still be learning. So I'm excited. I'm excited for that opportunity. In the course of that, I actually lost my temple recommend because, well, he asked for it, I gave it, and though there was no court, it was canceled. So I'm in the process of getting that back, and That's scary for me. That's very scary and very uncomfortable, because if there's any place I want to be, it's in the temple. I can't wait till I get it again, so I can go and sit in the house of the Lord and ponder and listen. Listen to what the Spirit has to teach me there, because there are things to be learned that can only be learned in the temple. It probably has to do with all the things that it takes to get you there. The mental things of having a temple recommend, saying, yes, I'm worthy, and having two other people agree with that fact. Also the preparation of mind and body and setting out the time and so forth to go to the temple. Those are things that are all developing me as a person. And then there's the being there and putting the body and the mind still enough so that I can hear the whisperings of the Spirit and hear what's being taught there. Now this is a beautiful segue right into what I wanted this particular segment to be about, which is what I've been learning. I started to say earlier that when I got into the holosync, one of the things that made me hesitant is because I learn so fast. I mean, the Lord takes me, I do mega leaps. I feel like I have lived a multitude of lifetimes in this lifetime because of the things I've learned. And I'm grateful for that. I'm very grateful for that. I hope it continues. In fact, it's gone into warp speed now. It's just beyond, and I expect it will continue to speed up and continue to move. The thing is to bring that about through the meditation. I knew it would just happen even more so. And so anyway. That kind of frightened me a little bit because I was moving so fast as it was. But step by step, I'm learning. And what I'm learning too is that I have a lot of stuff yet to clean out. Like I said, there are issues that weren't resolved in my youth that I need to go through again, and I need to honor them and honor the principles of the gospel in a righteous manner to strengthen those and get that confidence in myself. So that I can be worthy of the calling that I have, that I've already accepted on the other side of the veil. Right now, that means death, okay? Right now, I'm going through the processes that prepare me for the responsibilities that I've already accepted on the other side of death. That's my interpretation, okay? Now, here, see, there's actually three concepts I want to cover. One is existence, one is forgiveness, and one is my understanding of the meaning of love. Those three things I want to record, partly because I'm into a whole nother venue of learning. I've been exposed to something else, which it makes me a little nervous, but I have a witness that I'm supposed to study it and make sense out of it, and use my discerning powers to decipher it. And what it is it's a program called A Course in Miracles. It was written by a psychologist, Helen. I think her last name starts with an S. I apologize. I could grab the book, right? I could grab the book. Let me grab the book. They don't even have their name on here, which is all right. And they did that very much on purpose. They didn't want to have their name. Now I started reading it, and I put it down twice already because I found things that, nope, that's not quite right. And then I prayed and I said, well, am I not seeing it from the right angle that it was meant to be shared? So I'm pondering, why was this information given? What were they seeking when they got it? There were so many things that so fit with what the Spirit has taught me recently that I couldn't help. But yeah, I did get it. I got Course in Miracles. It's like, wow. It's almost kind of frightening, you know. About a year or so ago, I actually did a little series in my radio show about discernment, and with that I read the book Jonathan Livingston Seagull. That's a beautiful little book that has a lot of imagery, in my opinion a lot of truth, a lot of half-truths, and some things that I found completely false with what I understand in the scriptures at this time, the scriptures that I take as the Word of God. Okay? And so I did this program. I did a series of 15 lectures, reading through the book and giving my input on what I believe was being taught, and showing how when we do study something we need to use discernment. So that's what I'm going to do as I approach this book. I feel I've read online about people who have gotten into it. It's actually very prolific, and yet this is the first I had heard of it. It was written like in the 65 was when they were receiving it. It took about 7 years to get it, and it was printed in 73, 74, I forget. I graduated in 74, so that number sticks in my mind. But the fact that it's there, and that that's when I was seeking so, I was just pleading with the Lord, where is the truth, where is the truth, where is the truth? I just find it interesting that this came out at that time. But I know once I start reading that book, then my mind's going to be full of new things to consider, and especially with the tapping and the meditation work that I'm doing, it keeps my mind and my consciousness is constantly in flux. So to be able to relate what I've learned is very, very challenging. Okay, so can I get these 3 things out in the last 3 minutes? I don't know. Existence. Right now, my idea of existence is this. We are made up of 3 parts. Spirit, mind, and body. This is not going to be anything new. I'm just telling you what I understand at this time. Spirit, mind, and body. What I see it as, from my place in study in the scriptures, and what I'm looking for is not my interpretation. I'm looking to understand God's interpretation, because that's the only one that really matters to me. I read a lot of people's, I listen to my own thoughts, but what really matters to me is what does Heavenly Father think. So that's what I'm trying, that's what discernment's all about. It's trying to decipher through the things to see what's man's, what's mine, and what's God's. And I see it this way. I see us as what I call a circus rider. You know that lady who rode 2 horses? That's what I see us as. I feel like we have been given on earth 2 wild horses to tame, to master, the body and the mind. Both of them very strong-willed, very powerful, very dynamic, with minds of their own. And then there's the spirit. That's the true self. Okay, the intent, the eternal part, the part that literally is of God as His children, and thus capable of becoming like Him. And the process of this birthing, this time that we're in, is to master the body and the mind, to learn about it in all its strength and weaknesses, and the mind as well, all of its strengths and weaknesses, according to the lessons that you and God have agreed on, to study those, to learn them. Now it's a beautiful thing to see that beautiful young lady riding around, or that handsome young man riding around on those 2 horses, isn't it? and she's flipping herself on either side of them, and she can just do magnificent things. And those horses, she and those horses work together as one, as a unit. But what if the horse was riding her? What if the two horses were riding her? Would that not look a little grotesque, a little odd? Let's continue this discussion. I'm not going to let it end here. We'll meet again. Till next time. Bye for now.